This week's blog post is on Brookgreen Gardens. It's the 6th in a series with pictures taken during June 2020. I've posted on Brookgreen Gardens before, cropping the photos to show just the sculptures. But one of the marvelous features of Brookgreen is that many of the sculptures have a small garden or another area specifically designed to set them off. In this series of posts, with photos taken in early June when the gardens were full of flowers, I'm trying to give a sense of these gorgeous settings. The sculptures in this particular post are within a small open-air gallery that has a roof but no sides. This one is by Frederick Hart. It's called Ex Nihilo, which means out of nothingness. It dates to 1977 to 1979. Hart is best known for his creation sculptures at the Washington National Cathedral. Ex Nihilo is a fragment of that series. He's also known for Three Soldiers, which is one of the representative elements at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial on the Mall in Washington, D.C. This one is called Builders of the Future. It dates to 1938. William Zorak, 1887 to 1966, a native of Lithuania, and his wife, Marguerite Thompson, were heavily influenced by Cubism and Fauvism. Both had works on display at the 1913 Armory Show in New York City. Zorak eventually switched from painting to sculpture. The block-like composition of this piece is very reminiscent of the sculptures at the Bronx County Courthouse. I've given you one of those on this slide. The Bronx County Courthouse sculptures were completed in 1934 by a group of artists, including Adolph A. Weinman, whose work we will see again in this post. Robin Salmon notes in Brookgreen Gardens Sculpture that this, on the left, is a cast of a quarter-size model for a work that was displayed at the 1939 New York World's Fair, whose slogan was "Building the World of Tomorrow." The group represents workers, builders, and pioneers. This one I find very endearing. It's called Susan, dates to 1950, and it's by Edward F. Hoffman III, 1916 to 1991. Hoffman was born in Philadelphia, and he based the pose of this child on sketches of his one-year-old daughter. This one is called I Am the Captain of My Soul, dates to around 1920. The title is from William Ernest Henley's poem Invictus, which is one of my favorite poems. So I really wanted to like the sculpture, but I find all of those flapping wings just too confusing. It's by Alice Morgan Wright, 1881 to 1975, who was a native of Albany, New York. This one is called Duet, dates to 1924. It's a charming, light-hearted mythological work, which is not at all the usual style of Adolph A. Weinman, 1870 to 1952. In New York, Weinman sculpted Samuel Rea at Penn Station, Civic Fame, that huge gilt figure on the top of the municipal building at Center Street, and Alexander Hamilton in front of the Museum of the City of New York. He also did many other works. There's a link in the blog post if you're interested. This one is called Coming of Age, dates to 1995. Paul Moore, who was born in 1957 in Oklahoma City, is a citizen of the Creek Muskogee Nation Sweet Potato Clan. He has created dozens of portraits and monuments. I have no idea what ceremony is represented in this sculpture, but the detail and suggestion of motion are really quite exceptional. And finally, Dance from 1917. Edward Field Sanford Jr., 1886 to 1951, was heavily influenced by Paul Manship's adaptation of the style of archaic Greece, with its sharp silhouettes and decorative elements. This graceful early work by Sanford reminds me more of works by Erte than of Manship. Sanford is known for his architectural sculptures, particularly a large series for the state capitol in Sacramento, California, in which the influence of Manship is more obvious. I've given you a link to that. The picture at the lower left is the view looking out from this sculpture gallery to the main open-air gardens again. And if you're interested in more information about Brookgreen, I've given you the URL on the screen. DianeDurantewriter.com has hundreds of posts on sculpture, painting, Central Park, and my many other obsessions. To join the free Sunday Recommendations email list, visit the URL that's on the screen or email me. And you can say, "Well done, Diane," or support my work and receive rewards by means of the tip jar on dianerantewriter.com. Thanks as always for listening.